In the previous lectures, we have seen how and when to use the float property and also how the floated elements behave. So in this lecture, we are going to see how to use the clear property to control the behavior of the elements. So to illustrate this is the web page we have created in the previous lecture, and all the 4 boxes are floated elements, and we have set the value of float to be left. So they are appearing one next to other, and if we reduce the browser's size, they will move to the second row so that there will be enough space for all the elements. Okay, now suppose instead of making all the 4 elements floated, I just want to make these 2 elements floated. So how we can do that? Let me cut this from here, and I just want to make the first 2, that is the pink and cyan boxes, floated. So I am putting float left for the first 2 boxes, and for the third and fourth box I haven't set the float property. So what do you expect as the output? Box 1 and box 2 should be sitting one next to the other, and box 3 and box 4 should appear normally, that is one on the top of the other. So let's see the output. So we should see pink, then on the right cyan, and below pink we should see gray, and then below that red, right? But you will be amazed to see the output now. Let's see that. Let me refresh. See, one box is missing. Which is that box? That is the gray box, and it is box number 3. Where did it go? When we discuss the behavior of the float elements, we have seen that first they will be positioned as per the normal flow, and then they will be removed from the normal flow. So when the 2 boxes, these 2 boxes are removed from the normal flow, the gray box is now actually sitting behind this pink box. So this is how the elements after the floated elements get displayed in a different way. We actually expect pink and cyan boxes here, and after this pink box we expected our gray box, and below the gray box we wanted to see the red box. That is the normal behavior we expected, right? These 2 are correct because they are sitting one next to each other, because these 2 are floated elements. But we are not able to see our third box, that is the gray box, because as these 2 elements are removed from the normal flow, the other 2 boxes, that is the gray and red boxes, behave as if these 2 elements are not there. Still they are displayed here, and because of that our gray box gets hidden. So what we can do in this case is that we can use the clear property. So we can set different values for the clear property. Commonly we set left, right, or both as the value of clear. When we set the value of clear to be left for an element, what will happen is that the top edge of that element will sit below the left floated element. And when we set the value of clear to right for an element, the top edge of that element will sit below the right floated element. So in this case what we can do, we want to make our gray box sit below this. These 2 are left floated elements. So what we can do is that for this gray box we can specify clear to be left. So what will happen when we set the value of clear to left for an element? This element's top edge will sit below the left floated element. So it should be displayed correctly. Let me see that. Refresh. See, we are now seeing the gray box as we expect. So when we use the float property for some elements, the elements that come after those floated elements will get displayed in a different way than we expect. So we can use the clear property to control how these elements should be displayed. So this box actually got hidden below this pink box because these 2 boxes are removed from the normal flow. So these 2 boxes were sitting as if these 2 are not there in the web page. So this one were sitting below this, and after that this red box. So we couldn't see this gray box. So here we have used the clear property, and when we set the value of clear property to left, that particular element will sit below the left floated element. And you can also set its value to right. In that case, that element will sit below the right floated element. And if we set the value of clear to both, then that element will sit below an element which is either floated left or right. You can also set the value of clear to inherit, which will inherit the clear property of its parent, and you can also set its value to none. But we commonly use left, right or both for the clear property.